Let's get it. Before we get into the cold open question and help a dear friend out, Gareth Taylor had a rant where I feel like this has been sitting on his soul for a while, and he came outside himself for a moment, which isn't his thing. So I had to play it. The talk was about playing time, getting minutes, if you can understand what player I potentially could be talking about. There are many player team relationships in every sport that have gone up to smoke because of minutes. So I thought really it's fit for anything.
No news on the contract front. I felt like the story was a bit of a non-event, if I'm honest, particularly after.
Wrong one. That's him on Chloe. Here we go.
A bit of a thing about this thing that people keep talking about, minutes. I don't.
Hold on. I got the thing like he just started off so fast, and this is like a part halfway through the interview, the presser, and he just kind of like leans in and he just goes, this thing, and that's when I like scrambled to the screen record. I was like, oh my god, record. Oh, like he goes off.
Really understand this minutes situation, playing minutes, getting minutes. It's a very weird concept for me. It's being ready to play, as simple as that. It's not a case of building up minutes unless you're a recovering injury player where the load management will look slightly different. I understand that theory, but this thing about gaining minutes is like for what? Is it for the international teams? I don't know. For me, though, we don't think that way, and the players shouldn't be thinking that way. It's all about being there in the training sessions, delivering what they can, giving their best. Having a good training session, having a bad training session is no problem, but giving maximum effort, being really aligned with the team, all of the players.
Oh,
he was hot.
Oh,
and his hot doesn't sound very aggressive. It's just like he's just talking, but the words are coming with a fire.
If you listen to the way that he talks often, yeah, you can just like, oh, he's mad. But yeah, to the other person, you wouldn't be able to tell. Yeah, it does just sound like he's talking.
Man, like I just need to have like Chloe Kelly in with the cornrows and the bandana. It's like, we talking about training, not a game, not a match. Training. We talking about training.
Training.
You train how you play, Gareth Taylor.
Not the game.
If you ain't training, you ain't playing, my boy, my girl. You ain't doing it.
I mean, that's just it. Like when he said like connection within the team, I was just like, ooh, that like, because I feel like that's one of those like very like pointed statements that you make at a player that is very connected with like at least socially connected with her teammates. Like that we've seen all of the social media, we've seen the TikToks, we've seen Instagrams, like we've seen how connected she is with her teammates. But for him to call it out in that manner, in that like, that's a direct shot. Like you can't look at that in any other way. Like, and so it will be interesting to see what happens, post international break. Maybe being with the Lionesses, being under Serena Vigman will kind of like give a nice little reset. I will also be interested to see how much she actually plays in the two matches that they have. Like, that's like, she was already fighting for playing time on that squad anyway. It wasn't like she was like an established starter. Like she was going to be, she was not the preferred wingers over Hemp and Mead. Like we know this. And so now we need to like, I want to see if Serena like is going to coddle her and be like, oh, like, let's get you this start in the second. I don't even, who do they play in the over the international break.
Yeah, no, it's fine. While you figure that out, because you want minutes for what? National team? I'm like, bro, he's like, you can tell he is you can tell that he's getting this conversation from people. You could tell that this is just a conversation that he is so over having. And he was just like, look, I'm addressing this shit to whoever it may concern. I don't care. If it fits, it sits.
I love when your head coach or manager, depending on the sport, addresses the narratives, right? Like, because it's real life is out there, and like your players are definitely hearing it. So you might as well say something, even if you don't say the name. Like we can tell what he's talking about, who he's talking about, and that is the record, and it's done. Like that kind of shuts it down, right? Like there's nothing else you can take from it, and then you move on. Like he says, international break, you come back, and then we're trying to chase Chelsea because those motherfuckers. That's the real goal here, okay? But no, like it's it puts everything in perspective, and I'd rather that than like sweeping stuff under the rug where there's nothing going on. Everything's hunky dory. Like, nah, like it's an issue, and you gotta do what you gotta do. It's your job. Do your job.
I also wonder how much of this was not just directed at Chloe Kelly, but maybe also directed at Kiara Keating as well. Like that, like I kind of like sat and thought about that for a minute. And I was like, oh, I don't think he's just talking to her. Like like, and I think that's the thing. Like, I think he's talking to multiple players, and it would not necessarily shock me if like that those are the two that he is mentioning, as those are the two that people are clamoring loudest about. Like they are not getting minutes, so it's like, this is why.
Hell yeah. All right. Okay. That was a nice little cold open conversation. But we still got the question, and it's a scenario, because I'm tired of these motherfuckers. So you're talking to a friend, they're a City fan, and despite Manchester City's miraculous comeback, your friend, the Blue, has the blues. So dazed and confused, as they just keep repeating the same things. You can't rely on an extra time set piece to goal to happen every match. Where's the creativity? What do you say to your melancholy mate? How do you cheer up your curmudgeon citizen? That is my cold open question.
Oh, Tom, you ready? Go, Tom. Go.
Number one, I show them the table. That's number one. And then number two, I show them the trophy cabinet over the last 5 years. Like, what are we talking about, y'all? Like, so we were talking before we got on, is like, I will address my privileges. Like, all of the teams that I root for are doing very, very well. And most of them have had a pretty sustained run of doing very, very well. After a while, you start to get that, I would call it Tuscaloosa fan syndrome, but I don't think that necessarily applies as much. So we'll go with that Athens, Georgia fan syndrome of like, oh, we're not like we're winning, but we're not winning by enough. We're not winning the right way. We're not fitting like. Is the end result to win the match? Is the end result to continue winning matches, or at least gaining points from matches, even if it's a draw that you equalized at the death? Yes, you need to get as many points as possible so that you can be on top of the table at the end of May. And that's really all that matters. Like, all of the, oh, they don't look good while they're doing it. Like, trust me, like, there's so much conversation around my football team about how they look terrible, and they're not good. Yet they're the only undefeated team in the NFL. So
I want to be terrible too if it's undefeated. Okay, I'm just saying if that is
there we
what
go.
undefeated or
There we
unbeaten
go.
Man City is, terrible is my mission in life. I'm gonna be that terrible. That's the new word for great, clearly. But to the question, Crump, I like numbers. Y'all know that. I would just go, hey, how many matches do we play? And they would go 38, and I would say, okay, how many matches have we played? And they would say 8, and I would say exactly. We have played less than a quarter of this season. Relax. I won't say his name, but that quarterback with the weird ideas, he was on one when he spelled that word out for people. RELAX. Relax, people. And the other numbers I would say would be 17 and 47. Those represent Kevin De Bruyne and Philip Walter Foden. Have they played consistently? No. Have they started together consistently? No. Are they our 2 most creative players? Yes. So thusly, it's going to be a little different when you have Gundo and Kova or Rico trying to be Phil and Kevin. They're not, and that's okay, because that will open up Holland. Like everything, there are reasons for all of this, y'all. It would be different if we were full strength. So I would tell my melancholy mate, cheer up, grab a pint, and breathe.
Well, Tarek, welcome. The
What up?
question is, you're talking to your friend who, even after the match against Wolves and the win, they are still very upset. They're still worried about the fact that you can't win every match in the last second, and where's the creativity? So what would you say to buck up your melancholy mate? How would you cheer up your curmudgeon citizen?
I don't know. I guess what Charlie said is, I mean, there's still plenty of time. We know we always start seasons slow. I think we started a little faster this season than what we typically have, and I think people kind of got excited about it. And then you realize we're still performing points wise really well. You know, we haven't lost yet, 2 draws, but we're doing okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the performances, what we're seeing, do kind of line up with what we've seen in the past, you know, where we have that slow start. We know how those seasons have ended for the last, 4 in a row. So there's always that possibility that this season ends the same way. So I don't, it's too early to get bent out of shape about it. Of course, I don't like it. None of us probably like it. We'd want to win every game 5-0. Actually, let's make that 6. We like that the sound. We would win every game 6-0 if it were up to us. But it's not, right? So sometimes you gotta pull it out at the last minute, last couple seconds. You gotta make it work. And that's what they've done thus far. And so give them credit. You know, they show, because again, most other teams, we'd say that that's the spirit of a champion, right? That's the heart of a champion. Why do we feel any different about it right now? So I'd just say, you know, get your life. Let's go. It's gonna be all right.
Hey, get you some friends like them, because me, I would tell you to shut your bitch ass up. We make it hard over here. Capitalize the A.
I hate the most is when you don't want the ball. I hate it. You have permission to make a mistake. You have permission to lose. You have permission.
And that's when we get big.
Yeah, I'm a genius.
Attack everyone and send everyone.
I think we're forgetting the most important thing. We're forgetting about focusing just on ourselves.
But we can do better. We need to take the next step, and there's no better place than taking the next step here.
Show ourselves out there how much we want to win it again.
We win 4 of the last 5 Premier League, guys. 4 of the last 5 Premier League. Are we going to do it again?
Don't ask me again about doubles, triples, quadruples, fifth-tuples, six-tuples, and seven-tuples. So,
Don't do it. Hey, and welcome to episode 113 of Shades of Blue.
World's famous.
We are the most comprehensive show about Manchester City, covering both the men and women's game, spanning both sides of the Mason-Dixon line. We making art over here, capitalize the A. I am Crunk Chocolate, and I'm here with my show bros, Sharpie Charlie, Outbomb, and Tarek. How's it going? How you doing? How you feeling?
It's a good day after a good weekend. It was a little iffy at moments for me, but it felt good.
I can only imagine what your blood pressure was like from both Saturday and Sunday.
It's too much, man. Too much. It's too much. I'm telling you. And that's why, again. So yeah, started out. Well, let's go back. Friday, because this was a great weekend for me, all things considered. Friday, I got to watch Florida State lose. As a Miami fan, that's a great day.
Always.
Then Saturday we drive down to Louisville, we go to the game, and it's just constant back and forth, and I'm just going nuts because we can't get a stop to save our lives. And I'm like, I need one of my teams to be able to play defense. Somebody's got to be able to keep, somebody off the board, get some stops every now and then, every blue moon. So yeah, so that was frustrating. But just, again, we're scoring goals, we're scoring touchdowns, getting points, but we're not getting stops, and they're coming back scoring. I came into it concerned that I was going to be the jinx because I've been watching all these games on TV and we've been winning. And it was just like, just my luck. I'm going to go take the family with me and we're going to lose. So every time they score, I'm just like, oh, don't let this be the day. So, but we pulled it out. And then we had almost a repeat of that the other day on Sunday, where they go up early. And we'll talk about it, but it's frustrating. It's nerve-wracking being on the edge and just praying that just some way we'll find a way to pull it out. But thankfully, both teams did. I called them the Cardiac Canes on the last episode, I think. Cardiac City's not too far behind. So, it is what it is. But it was a great weekend from a sports perspective. Last night, the New York Liberty won the WNBA finals. Their first championship in their history. So, man, it's awesome being a sports fan, man. There's so much stuff to get behind. Now we kind of pivot and NBA getting ready to kick off, but I'm just glad to be here, man. It was a great weekend.
Go C's.
Oh yeah, and banners going
go somewhere, but I'm not going to tell you where they want them to go. I can't say that on this episode.
Wow.
I don't curse, so I can't tell you where I would prefer they go.
That makes it even better because you won't say it, but you know exactly where it is.
Yeah, you want them to go to the championship? You're so right, Tarek. You're so right.
Okay,
go to the championship. That's right.
Fill in the blank. For me, things are really great. Was able to vote early today in Virginia.
Let's go.
Went to the wrong place. So I live in Alexandria, but you have Alexandria City and you have Fairfax County. Did I double check? I didn't. That's why you should always look it up, people. I went to one library, easy line, got in 10 minutes. The man said, "We can't find your name. Do you live in the city or the county?" I said, "Well, apparently I live in the county, sir." So had to take a 10-minute drive over to the county office, waited in line for 50 minutes, but got it done, cast my vote for the all Democratic ticket. It was beautiful. And because we got a senator up for election in Virginia. Shouts to Tim Kaine, congressperson. So it of course, Harrison Wall. So it felt really good to do my civic duty. Hope everybody does it, whatever side you're on. Hopefully it's the right side. And yeah, and then the sports that we'll talk about, like the Broncos won Thursday night, so I just went into the weekend on a high. And so it's continued, and I love the drama. So yeah, can't wait to talk about it. Tom, how was your weekend, man?
My weekend was really, really good. I feel like anytime that your weekend consists of you going to Chili's You had a good weekend. I don't like. I like.
That's facts, though. Oddly enough, that's facts.
Like if you go to Chili's, you like, and they had this.
It's the perfect
They had
place.
the new like little witch brew margarita that was like $5.
Yes.
Fire.
Yes.
Fire. Absolutely fire.
What?
I was like $5. Like, how many? I need like 3 of these. Like, this is ridiculous. So did that. Saw the last regular season home match for Casey Current. They won over the giant tire fire that is San Diego Wave. Like, bad on a lot of levels. Just real bad, like on and off the pitch. And then had my little 6-point Sunday. So yeah, it was a great weekend.
Naomi Garma, come to Baby Blue Baddies. Join us, please. That'd be so nice.
Immediately.
Yeah, man, just been building, working this partnership we're gonna be doing with Bent River. It's November 2nd. Starting that, I'm gonna be hosting watch-alongs and stuff there. So I'll probably, whenever we have kickoff shows and stuff, they have a actual second room. I'll probably hide out in there for a little bit, but I'm looking forward to it. They're a great place in this area. They are basically the originators of craft beer in where I live. They're like the first craft beer place that opened. They sponsored my rugby team when I was growing up too. So it's really funny that it's kind of come full circle this way like that. Yeah, big plans. I'm super excited to do this with them. They seem very excited. There's a bunch of people that they know who have been wanting for something like this to happen, and they are trying to figure out ways to grow their weekend business. It's just like, okay, come here, family, let's do this. So shout out to Ben River. You will be seeing me drinking lots of their beer moving forward. They will be the official beer of Shades of Blue podcast. And if we can keep getting some things going on, I would like the 2025 SLB meetup to be here, where we could host a live event, and we can do an SLB beer. I've already been talking to him about stuff, so like we can have some fun with this, people, if everything keeps going according to plan. And I don't see why it wouldn't. All right, man. All right. Well, I mean, before anything else, you 26 minutes into the episode, like the episode, subscribe, YouTube, podcast, rate, review, 5 stars, or what's the point? Say some nice things. We appreciate all those things. Tons of shows. I'll talk about those at the end of the episode. Let's just get into it, because we got some Baby Blue Baddies. We got some Band City Men. Unfortunately, it's the time for the Baby Blue Baddies for an international break. It's just like, once we get one team back, we lose another. Tired of this pain. Miss them already. Okay. And then, yeah, Wolves. I'm telling y'all now, there won't be a going through the moment by moment with that match. There are definitely talking points from that match that we do need to cover, but the nitty gritty about that match, oh, no, thank you. No, thank you. Bomb. What are those Baby Blue Baddies doing to you?
They are giving their opponents a little, head start, so then they can catch up and track them down, and beat them. That's exactly what's happening. That is every match they play, like just concede the first goal and then come back and score more than the other team at the end of 90 minutes. And that's really all that matters because, as we said at the beginning, it's a result. That's all that matters.
Mhm.
So,
what do you get
Wednesday?
into everything?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Because these are questions that he was asked before Polten, and the first and most is Chloe Kelly. So like, which is crazy because yes, I played the thing that I played earlier about minutes, and that minutes was after this Chloe Kelly answer. So he had already talked about Chloe Kelly, but still felt the need to get off that minutes rant because this you will hear is the media trained Gaz.
There's no news on the contract front. I felt like the story was a bit of a non-event, if I'm honest, particularly after such a solid performance from us at the weekend. It just beggars belief, really, that people want to focus on that. But Chloe's been great. She's really working hard. She's really engaged. She's really aligned with what we're doing. And she understands, like the rest of the players at the top end of the pitch, that things are slightly different from maybe the last season or two where we have been able to strengthen in those areas. And yeah, I think she's contributed this season for sure. And like the rest of the players that I talk to, whether it be Mary, whether it be Alba, whether it be Lauren Hemp, whether it be Bunny, you've got to be ready to play. And if you're needed, of course, go and do your bit. But if you're not, you need to be mentally prepared for the next opportunity. And Chloe's doing that really well, I have to say. She's been great in that sense. She's really, like I say, really aligned. She's with the team for sure. She's really, really trying to work so hard for the team. And sometimes you get the rewards off the back of that and sometimes you don't. But she's doing everything that we expect of her. She's contributed with goals and assists already this season in the limited time that she's had. And that's exactly what we're looking for.
Again, sorry. I hate when you set clips up and you cut out a part and it seems like a certain way, and he just kept talking and adding in more like things that he's covering that he hasn't covered. So next thing you know, it's like a minute and a half long of him just talking. So for the people who don't like it, honestly, you need context in your life. So relax.
That clip just makes me further confirm that the second part, yes, Chloe Kelly was a part of that, but like that was Kiara Keating. That was 100% Kiara Keating directed. Which she did get some minutes when the team went to Austria, starting goalkeeper, which exciting, yes. So she starts in goal. Wahhabi, Greenwood, Alana Kennedy gets to start, and first senior start for Cody Thomas. Thomas, all of 18 years old at right back. Midfield is Yui Hasegawa. We got to get her some rest, y'all. I don't know how we're going to do that, but we got to get her some rest. I'm tired looking at her. Laura Blinkilde Brown and Jess Park. Up top had Alba Fagino, Mary Fowler, and Chloe Kelly. So I full disclosure, I could not watch this match live. No, let me restate that. I would not watch this match live because I forgot about the start time. I thought it was noon and it was 11:45. And so when I turned on at noon, Alana Kennedy had already scored a worldie. Like, I really do think it was akin to no, Vinny, no, don't shoot. No, Vinny, no, don't shoot. Like, but further out.
Yes, that's what I was going to say, but further out.
But further out. And it still went into the back of the net. It's like I believe that was like the 9th, 10th minute. Everyone's 5th minute. I'm sorry. Everyone's hyped. Like, so you're thinking, okay, like this is what we need. We jumped on this team early at home, and then we got a lot of chances, and we weren't very clinical with them. And it was a little bit frustrating. I started watching about like the 15th minute. And then in the 40th minute, St. Polten had a corner, And you know how sometimes in corners when you don't properly clear it, like the ball pings around a lot, and sometimes your goalkeeper just gets shielded from where the ball actually is, and then it'll just go somewhere where normally the goalkeeper would save it. That is exactly what happened to Kiara Keating, because she never saw the shot ever, because she couldn't see the ball. Brunthaler of St. Polten levels the match in the 40th minute, right before you want to talk about some of the worst time to give up a goal is like the last 5 minutes of either half. And just to give up a goal like that, like just kind of like speaks to lack of concentration. And you just don't feel good about the goal at all. So Gareth makes a halftime sub. You're like, okay, yeah, we'll do this. Let's make a halftime sub. Brings on Bunny Shaw. She's influential almost right away. Takes a shot, goes over the bar. Plays in Chloe Kelly, who also took a shot and went over the bar. So then, deep in there, St. Polten get the ball, take it up the pitch, and This was the action that lets me know that Gareth Taylor was talking about Kiara Keating, because the shot came and Kiara Keating never moved, like ever. And it wasn't like I don't feel like she couldn't see the shot, but she really just did like the mannequin challenge, like on the pitch, and like all of a sudden it's what's happening?
I legitimately thought this man fucking froze.
And I was like, that is so perfect, because it's like I honestly can't tell if he was just doing the mannequin challenge or if he actually froze. It was perfect. I don't even know what happened. Did you actually do the mannequin challenge?
Or did you? My brain.
I can't wait for this clip.
I totally just froze.
Oh my god, that was like perfect.
Wow.
Yeah, I just froze, but that's gonna work. That's gonna work great. Like
incredible.
Oh my god.
Thank you.
It was
Spectrum,
like the perfect timing. I
for
just
your
knew
spotty
he was,
internet.
Yeah, I thought he was just like trying to make a point.
Right? He's in character, baby. He's cooking.
So luckily you get a really good response by bringing Jess Park off and bringing Bunny on. It actually moved Mary Fowler back into the midfield, which is somewhere we had seen her play before when she first got to the club. And she acquitted herself very well in that position. She made key pass to Chloe Kelly, who sends in a very deep cross back post. Abba Fagino is there, takes a touch, settles it down, gets the shot, gets her first City goal. We're excited. We're pumped. Let's go. Let's do this. Girls get the ball out of the net. It's like, all right, let's go. We're ready. More possession, but wastefulness. We bring in a horde of subs. Chloe Kelly comes off for Lauren Hemp. Lai Alexandri comes on for Cody Thomas. Jill Roard comes on for Laura Blinkilde Brown. And that's in the 63rd minute. Wasteful. Couple shots. Then Abba Fagino takes the corner in the 80th minute. And all of a sudden, you see Mary Fowler rise higher than I think I have ever seen her jump. Like it looks like she channeled her inner Aussie and got up like a kangaroo and just headed the ball directly into the net. City up 3-2. That is how the match ends. City remain top of the group with 6 points, the only undefeated team in the group. Oh, we got more?
Yes, I got Gaz right after the match.
It's a difficult game on a really difficult pitch. I think people probably watching at home wouldn't really realise that. It was such a difficult surface to play on, and you could see how bobbly it was. So we couldn't play centrally, and the space was wide. And to be honest, it took us a while to recognise and realise that. And once we did that and switched the play multiple times, we really caused some problems. Scored a really good goal from Alana, kind of out of nothing. Had other opportunities to really increase the lead, and before you know it, we're pegged back and from a set play, which is disappointing. Potentially that's my fault and the changes I make in the game, and obviously with the personnel, and I think it's a lesson learned maybe for when you play teams like Polten, who people expect to be an easy 3 points. These games certainly aren't.
Perhaps not. However, talk to Hammerby about their timeout with Barcelona, and they straight up did not have a good time. Like you can go look up that scoreline and let them know that they did not have a good time at all.
Barca was very mad. They had to get out all their feelings from last week.
Yes,
and boy did they
yes,
ever.
they did. They in fact did. Yes. City top of the group, 6 points. 6 points on out of 6. Coming up on the international break. We'll play a little bit later. I believe in November. Once we come back, I believe we have host Hammerby, or is it on the road? Yeah, host them. Host Hammerby. On I believe that's on a Wednesday. So looking good. On the international front, on the European front, I suppose we should say. So now we got to get back to the domestic league, where we came home to face a thorn in our side, for lack of a better term, in Aston Villa. Like the season before last, they beat us in both matches. They have played us very well in the past. And so you're just kind of thinking like, okay, we just got to get out there and even though they have not yet won a match this season, they have put out some very interesting results. They have played very well against some of the top teams. They held Chelsea to 1 goal, which in retrospect and seeing how Chelsea has played, that's a big deal. Like Arsenal couldn't even do that, but we won't even get into that. Starting lineup for Villa, we have Yamishita in goal. Left to right, we have Layla Wahhabi, Alex Greenwood, Laya Alexandra, Kirsten Kasparai on the back line. Yui Hasegawa, I'm so tired. Please get this lady some rest. I'm so tired looking at that tiny little girl, like little woman, just running around, dominate the midfield. She needs some rest. Jess Park and Jill Roard makes a start. Up top, you had Bunny Shaw, Mary Fowler, and Lauren Hemp. Again, I cannot say enough good things about Mary Fowler. I'm just taking the job away from everyone. Like Chloe Kelly and Alba Fagino. Like, no, I am the right winger on this team. You will play me. Like, like I am the captain now. So in the United States, any match that is on Sky or BBC is on ESPN Plus. All of the other matches are on YouTube. So we wake up very early in the morning, very early. It was a 6:15 central kickoff time, and I am ready. I am on the couch, and I'm like, okay, let me pull it up. It's like, okay, please stand by. Your event will start soon. It's like, okay. Get the Fight Mob notifications like, Man City versus Aston Villa started, kickoff. Wait, but it says like your event starting. Like, please stand by.
Yeah,
I'm very
back
confused.
up. Maybe it just hasn't updated. Let me go back.
Yeah. Let me get like I was on the app. I was like on the app on the phone, on the TV, on Boo Thing's iPad. Like, wait, what? Okay, something's off. Something's off. Then we have technical difficulties. Literally, the technical difficulties lasted until the because it was the 55th minute, 53rd minute, something like that.
Is that what happened?
Yes.
I'm thankful I jailbroke my Fire Stick, but someone tweeted that they were like watching on a sketch stream, and that's when I remembered. All right, I have sketch dreams, so BBC too. So it was nice. I was able to watch the match, but yeah, oh man, I was hot because again, we're waking up so early in the morning, bro. Like, and
Very early.
can't even do your like. What are we doing? How is this growing the
Listen
game?
here, listen here, Mickey Mouse Sports. I need you to get some of your goddamn Imagineers on this shit because this is bullshit. Like, I like it. God rest you, FA player. I'm sorry if I ever said a bad word about you. Like, you never really did me wrong. Like,
like man, bro, I can't tell you how many times I just be like dancing in my living room before the match, just like
yeah,
this
is great. This is great. So I'm sitting on the couch trying to like follow along through Twitter, follow along through FOTMob, and all of a sudden it says Aston Villa goal, Gabby Nunes de Silva. I was like, wait, what?
I still haven't seen that goal. I don't know what happened.
I haven't
I just know she was
okay.
assisted.
So let me tell you what.
I didn't care to look at it.
Let me tell you what happened. Alex Greenwood followed Rachel Daly into the midfield and stepped up with her, and when the ball came to Rachel Daly, she immediately played it out wide to Hansen, and like Greenwood was stuck, so she was like caught out already. So then like everyone's emergency defending. Wahhabi finally catches up with Hansen, and then Hansen puts a cross in that because Greenwood had so much ground to cover, couldn't cover it, and De Silva just knocks it in. It was like 1-0. Like Yamishita didn't have a chance on that particular
By chance, how far out was this cross? Was it like an aerial cross or was it on the ground?
It was on the ground.
Oh, interesting. We'll come back to that.
So
foreshadowing.
So
same
halftime we do our pre-match show for the men, and I'm like, yeah guys, I'm fucking pissed. I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna win. Yeah, like we're gonna kill Wolves. Like fuck them. But like I'm concentrated on the like I don't know what to say. Sure. Then we finally in the 53rd minute, I like stream like magically clocks back on. It's like, oh okay, okay, I can actually watch now. Everything's cool. So, and I had committed to Kansas Citizens to meet them out for the match, for the men's match. So I was like, okay, well, all right, let's leave like at the 70th minute of the women's match, like so that way we can kind of get there somewhat on time, right? So finally get the stream up, and I see Mary Fowler on the left and Lauren Hemp on the right, which I thought was interesting. And Mary Fowler had a nice interplay with Layla Wahhabi. Layla Wahhabi puts in a cross that Sabrina D'Angelo does punch, but only so far. Lauren Hemp heads the ball, and then on the volley from the header, smacks the ball with some of the most beautiful technique I have ever seen, and essentially like chips D'Angelo because she's out of place. Like, yeah, it was like the trajectory of like a bomb in like one of those like crappy computer game or phone games, like like a parabola, literally. Like that's exactly what it looked like, and
that goal
goes in the net.
Was astounding. Like she is in her Birkin. She is in whatever bag she wants to be in this season. Like this is her breakout season, so where you got to put her up there as one of the best wingers in the world. Like she can do whatever she wants. We haven't even gotten to the best play yet. That is not the best play. What she did later is crazy. And like, yeah, I love Lauren Hempo, man. Thank God we got her locked up.
Yes. So then Gareth's like, okay, well, you've already run it the right side, Lauren Hemp. Let's go ahead and put you back on the left where you belong. And Lauren Hemp receives the ball on the left, out like just outside the box. 2 Villa defenders converge on her. Nope, I got you. Another Villa defender comes a step to her. Nope, I'm going around you. Like, and then she's just free running in on goal, and it's like, oh gosh, like D'Angelo like goes to like approach her, and so she just cuts the ball back to a well approaching Jill Roord. Jill Roord takes her time, takes a touch, puts it right into the back of the net. Like, and that was her first goal post ACL. So we congratulate her for that. That was great. And at that point, it was like, okay, we're just gonna like. I think at that point, it's interesting to see like when teams get like when you let a team score the first goal and get up, and then you score 2 consecutive goals in 10 minutes. You can see a team break, and that's when Aston Villa broke, and they didn't want any more, and City really didn't have to do anything else. So they are now headed to the international break. We do have several players going to their international squads. Jill, Viv, and Kermit are all going to the Netherlands for their matches. Mary Fowler and Alana Kennedy will be with with the Matildas for their matches. Aba Fujino, Yamishita, and Yui Hasegawa will be with Japan with her matches. Please, Mr. Japan manager, please don't start Yui. I know she's one of your best players.
You
one of
know
the
it's
best
not happening. She will never
Please.
rest.
God, I'm so tired.
She's Kevin Gates, but Japanese. She don't get tired. That's her theme music right there.
You have did the beautiful thing where you mentioned something that triggers a soundbite. This is Gareth Taylor being asked about how do you handle players with international duty.
Well, we're always trying to consider the players as much as we can. It's always like the centre base of what we try to do, and of course where we can we try to give them time away. We also have to be careful there's not an element of undertraining, which can be dangerous as well. So yeah, just sometimes shutting the players down is obviously the objective. On the next international break, I think in November, is a real opportunity for us to be able to give them, even those players that are going away, a little bit of time, maybe 2 or 3 days just before that break, because I think that's really important as well, that they're able to shut down a little bit. We do have a couple of players who will probably look at their load management while they go away with their international team. So, Kirsten Kasperai will be one of those. I think at the moment, for her to go away and play, in a 2 or 3 game window for the Dutch is really difficult, and we're having really good conversations with them to try and manage that, because we want obviously the best for the players, and sometimes the best thing for them, as much as they want to play, is almost like not to play. But we don't really want to do that. We don't want to take the games away from them, and similar to the point you were making about us being in Champions League now, it's the less work we do on the training pitch is going to have to be the way forward, because it's really hard to get the gains that you want on the pitch, factor in the heavy load that they have in games and all these competitions.
Yeah, because I didn't even get through half of the list, honestly, because like Alexandria is going to be gone with Spain. We have Greenwood, Hemp, Park, and Kelly going to be with the Lionesses. But you know who will not be on international duty? Khadijah Shaw. And it gets wilder, because apparently there is now the visa issue was completely on Man City. Like
Yeah.
we have to own that as a club, right? But apparently she's having like some passport issues as well. So I don't know, like, JFF is going through a lot, obviously, already. So it might be, and it also might be a situation where Bunny like just says, "Nah, I'm good on y'all for a minute. I can't do that." So, and I would not blame her for that at all. So, I hope that she gets plenty of rest, because we will need her. And as Treb said, like she's not not necessarily injury prone, but the way that she plays the game is prone to injury.
Yes.
So you want to protect a player like that as best you can. So just wishing everyone a healthy international break. I'm not going to say I want this team to win or this, like, because I believe that this international break is almost exclusively friendlies. I don't believe that there's any qualifying. If there is qualifying, it's probably going to be for the Japanese players, maybe for something for AFC, but hopefully everyone comes back healthy. That is really the biggest objective.
Facts. Oh man, and yeah, I guess we'll see you back in a couple of weeks.
Yes, get some rest.
Okay, let's get to Wolverhampton. Starting 11 was Ederson, Vardiol, Diaz, Stones, Lewis, Gundo, Kovacic, Silva, the Spice Brothers on the wing, Savio and Doku, and Haaland up top. What were your thoughts on the lineup show, bro? Let's get you in here, Tarek.
Thoughts on the lineup. I think the thing that stood out to me was, again, no Phil Foden, right? I don't know, man. It's kind of upsetting for me. But I appreciate the winger selection. You had both Doku and Savino, so I like that. No Walker. We got Lewis. No Akanji. Got Stones. So I mean, there was quite a bit of changes, but I think the thing that, again, like the biggest thing for me was just no Phil.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I would probably go I would go Phil over Gundo maybe, and have Gundo come off the bench maybe, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on, because he's been back. He's got games. So I obviously, if he can't go, if he's physically not able, then you don't play him. But that's the thing that stood out the most to me.
Yeah, and honestly, I would much rather stay here on this, because even after we talk about this lineup, my next subject is Phil Foden, and the lineup is the lineup, whatever. But this Phil Foden situation, I want to talk about this. This is one of the things that I want, because we've touched the subject. We do that a lot. We'll like give our quick thoughts and kind of move in. But what is going on? Because it's like KDB's not there, Rodri's not there. Like, we see what Pep wants to do with Kova, Gundo, Silva, but inevitably you're hearing everybody use the same phrase: it lacks creativity. And Phil would fix that, yeah? And I get Pep believes Foden lacks the initiative to track back for 90 minutes. Whether that's true or not, we don't know. He's not even giving him a chance. But it can't be any worse than like Rico Lewis himself in the first goal, not having the long stamina or speed to be able to get back to stop that tap in. I mean, even with the expectations, it's on Savio and Doku to have to track back all the time because we have fucking old legs in our midfield. And then they're tired and they're not doing as well on the offense. And then people are like, Doku's looks like shit. Savio doesn't look good. It's because they're running a million times up and down the pitch. It's tough. It's just frustrating me that it almost seems like a domino effect of us not putting Phil on just because Pep thinks he plays too fast. Like, that's basically it. Pep just thinks he plays too fast. And so, like, I'm willing to have y'all put on a tinfoil hat. Like, give me a conspiracy. Like, we are finding answers today, whether they are true, they're speculative, they're rumors. It's he said, she said. Like, listeners, we are not being serious right now, but for the sake of this conversation, I'm asking you. There's no I don't know. Like, what? We've had time to think about this. If I've thought about this nonstop over the last few weeks, I know you have thought about what the fuck is going on with Phil. So I want to hear your ideas. What are your thoughts? What do you think is going on with Phil? Joe Brooks.
Two thoughts. One, sometimes a manager for one part of the club is speaking to the entirety of the club. So perhaps Gareth Taylor's message was not just catered to Chloe Kelly and Kiara Keating, but it was also catered to Phil Foden. Now, whether he heard that, I don't know, but it would seem to me that that could be part of it. Two, the club as a whole has been very vague about Phil being ill, right? So yesterday, watching my football team, their opponent had a player who was not feeling well in Deebo Samuel, and he was supposed to start. Comes out today that the man is hospitalized with pneumonia.
Oh.
So I'm wondering if, and we also know that Phil did not come on the first American tour because he didn't get the jab. And that was one of the requirements to come over here, is like, you got to get the jab to come over here, right? So I'm wondering if maybe Phil has long COVID and we don't know what those side effects are. So those are my two. I'm throwing those out there.
So I went back just now, shout out to Five Mob, and looked at his matches this season, right? And starting in October, he had a run of 78 minutes in the Slaven Bratislava match, 78 minutes against Fulham. 4 days later, that's Saturday. So Tuesday to Saturday, went on international duty. Thursday to 10, 72 minutes. So he's playing consistently, right? 3 matches, 9 days. That's the norm. Then for Finland, he comes in as a sub at the end. And that was last Sunday, and then a week off, and now here. I just think Pep, for whatever reason, did like I can't agree with it at all, right? But I just don't think Pep wants to. He's not doing something Pep wants, because he's definitely fit. If you could play for England twice, you could play like the week before that in Champions. Like, he's fit. I just don't think he's doing the same things or meeting the expectation. And in a regard, like the same way I respect Gareth Taylor for not playing Chloe Kelly, if she's not doing what he wants to, if she's not showing what he wants, I fully obviously respect Pep if he's like, nah, you're not doing it for me right now. Now, do I think we're better with Phil? Of course, 100%. And I will say, as we talked about in the cold open, it's a long season. And so if these are little October kinks that get out of the way, do it now. So by the time we really get going after the last international break in November, we're really cooking before we get into December, where we always go on our big run. So as Terry pointed out, it's extremely frustrating, and you want to see your best players play. But for the first quarter of the season, injury, long COVID complications, whatever it may be, if this is the worst it looks, I'll take it.
And
What you got,
Derek, I
Terry?
mean, you're not much of a speculative guy, but I am interested.
Yeah, you want me to just speculate wildly and
I didn't say wildly
without any regard for the
not
truth.
what I said, but if you want to do that though.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I don't know, but I just, it is, like I said, it's frustrating. And I think it's I don't want to say domino effect, but just, we brought back Gundo, and he was never going to be a Rodri replacement, but to kind of spell moments here and there. And it feels like right now it's one or the other. You can either have Phil or you can have Gundo. He seems reluctant to play them both. And I get it, because Gundo, I don't think he has the legs to play as a lone six. So you got to get Kova in there. And so then if you're going to do Kova, it's we know what the choices are, right? But to me, yeah, I want to see Phil Foden on the pitch most, if not all, matches, playing most, if not all, the minutes. But that's just me. So yeah, it's disappointing. But that kind of long rabbit trail. But ultimately, that's my frustration with the lineup.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It's like I said, we were gonna have this conversation anyway, so I figured let's just get it. And speaking of getting things over with, this goal by Wolverhampton, slicing through Manchester City's defense with 2 passes.
Where was Rico? Where was
From
Rico?
the entire back line, and it's one of those things. It's
Tom, no, let's stay right here.
Hold on, because you can.
Where was Rico, Tom? Let's talk about Rico. What was Mans doing?
It sounds like there's a little bit of
no
Walker apologist in here from Charlie. That's why he wants you to go back and tell us exactly where Rico was.
Well, I mean, like at least I'll put it this way. Kyle might not read the game as well as Rico does. That stated, if he doesn't read the game as well, he has the pace to recover from not reading it as well. And Rico don't have that pace.
And what I'll even say, when you watch that moment, there were multiple moments where Rico could have pushed through, but he just assumed his buddies have it. The ball's way over there. So he slowed down multiple times where he would sprint a little bit and then slow down and sprint up and then slow down and then sprint up at the last second. It's just if you just sprinted that entire time and caught up with him, you could have knocked this out. We already know you lack the size. We know you already lack the top speed. You can't assume ever, Rico Lewis. You are a teenager playing on one of the best teams in the footballing world. And for him to do that, it kind of bummed me out because of the fact that, this is supposed to be his chance to take it away from Kyle. And I think, and I'm hearing it from other people. There are other people who were Team Rico, and now they're just I actually don't know about him now. And that's something that he's doing to himself just because he's taking things for granted. And again, I don't think you can do that. You're still, yes, you've been on the team for a while, but you're still pretty young and new. Come on, guy.
So, yeah, I don't think that was his best, of course. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's always going to be, with Rico at least, there's always going to be that deficiency because of the way that Pep is allowing him or asking him to play. When we have the ball, with the ball, that man is playing as a midfielder. He's not playing as a defensive or on the back line. He's not playing as outside back. He's playing as a midfielder. So when the ball turns over quickly and there's transitions, he is going to be out of position probably 90% of the time. And so now it's just a matter of how quickly can he get back? How much can his, whoever that right-sided center back is, can help to cover while he gets back and just kind of slow the play down. We typically do a really good job of keeping the ball. So, we only see that happen maybe once or twice a match. But when it happens, especially when they score off of it, it looks really bad. But again, it's one of those things where it's not great. Don't want to see it. Got to give him, the criticism that he deserves, but also have to look at Pep and say, you have to put that man in a better position, or we have to keep the ball better. One of the two.
So I feel like everything y'all said is true, and I see it from this point. This is not even to bring up Kyle Walker, right? It's about players are going to make mistakes. None of our players are perfect, and I feel like, as Crunk alluded to with the Twitter commentary about everything and every player, not being 100% perfect or making perfect passes, they're going to make mistakes. The reason we keep winning is because we have better players than everybody else. So even our players making mistakes is still better than 95% of the clubs we face. That's why even when we play like shit, we can still find a way to win, right? And so in Rico's case, that's a learning moment. And in that position, just like the way John Stones played it, or whatever, is and Kyle Walker's done the same thing now. He goes up and then he may not go as far, but he's not hitting the 18 as often out of the box like Rico does. But like your job is to do both. Like that is your task. You have to be able to attack because we're going to have the ball for over 75% of the time when they sit deep. And you got to read that shit to know, oh, I gotta book it back, as Crump was saying. So I don't know. It doesn't matter if Kyle Walker's on the pitch when he get there or not, because then we wouldn't have the same attack. And he just isn't fit. So he wasn't even on the bench. So it's a moot point. But the point is, I hope that like as supporters, because I love that phrase, but people don't do it. Like it's so much criticism instead of support or just understanding, right? But again, I can't tell you how to be a fan. Some people love the anxiety. Some people use it as an outlet to yell and scream and get mad about stuff. And y'all do what y'all do. But if I'm watching a club and we make a mistake, we know this spirit. We're going to go up a goal, and then we're going to score more than the other team. We do it all the time. So I don't understand why does that like a new thing. And also, we play the most low blocks ever, and we're better at it than everybody else. But it's still hard as hell to break down. Like you can't expect Erling Haaland to just be surrounded by 3 people the entire match and be like, why isn't he touching the ball? No shit, Sherlock. He got 3 humans around him. What you thought he was about to do? He's not Superman. Like he doesn't have Kevin on the pitch. He doesn't have Phil on the pitch. So they really can't like go at him. And so I don't know. I think like everything is logical, but people hate logic. And so now you get chaos and frustration. But it's like it makes sense when you explain it. But yeah, that's all I got.
Charlie, you made a point in the pre-match show about how there was really no like Wolves didn't have the pace to expose like having a center back pairing of Diaz and Stones, and that would be the right reason why you wouldn't start Akanji. And I think in that entire action, had Akanji been present, like that goal probably doesn't happen. So I yes, Rico needs to be in a better position, read the ball better, and like Pep needs to put Rico in a better position by having a center back that's going to be able to support him where he's deficient. So like you basically your right side of your defense like lacks for pace essentially. So if Wolves was able to at all, they would be able to run at that side of the pitch, like our defensive right, their offensive left. But when you have a player like Akanji who has the pitch or has the pace to keep that, that's not an issue that you're dealing with.
I would also say the whole back line likes the pitch, right? Like we love all of them. Neither one of them, none of them are the fleetest of foot. Like Vardiol all the way over to Rico. And so
Vardiol is the fastest. Vardiol's the fastest.
Yeah, he's the fastest, and he's not even that fast, right? So it's just like and he was the one who couldn't get out there and like catch up, right? When he was out, he was too far up too. So everything it's like a domino effect. When that mistake happens on our left side of the defense, it does trickle down to the right because now it's like, oh shit, they gave the ball up. Oh wow. And again, will they learn from it? Yes. Like it is. That match was on October 20th. We have 7 more months to go. Over 40 matches left in all competitions, over 50. So like, I think that's one of the few times we're going to see that type of goal happen. Although I thought it would be Altnour who did it. It was Semedo, and that's what shocked me. I didn't think he could play the ball. I've never seen Semedo make that pass in a Wolves shirt. Yeah, no. So credit to him because that was a perfect R1X cross on FIFA. Like it was beautiful. It was gorgeous.
That's probably why I'd be losing because I couldn't tell you like what button did you just say? What does that do?
Yeah, the whip cross is dangerous. Yeah, you get the pace, get that whip cross in, natural foot. It'll do some numbers.
Okay, so the next set of conversation that I want to have, because again, really the match, midfield of Bernardo, Kova, Gundo should be great when in possession. However, the moment City lose the ball, I have a That's So Raven style vision where I'm just like, and I just see like a goal going in and they're running away celebrating. It just happens every single time. It's not great. I mean, don't fix it for them. But how do we fix the midfield? Is it as simple as Foden starts, boom, bang, everything's good? What's going on?
I don't.
Like, is it just something we need to accept that we're just going to be food on transition for the season. That's not a great way.
I mean,
to
it's the tactical setup. Like if I sit deep and you bring 9 of your 10 players or 8 of your 10 outfield players inside of 40 yards, all it does take is 2 passes, right? That's the tactical struggle that Pep is always going up against. It's like we have to put numbers in the box to try to spread out these 5-4-1 setups or whatever, and we know we're risking it because we only have 2 in the back. Now, what I hope happens one day is that he evolves it and literally just lets, for lack of a better phrase, lets the black people stay in the back. Just let Akanji and Walker sit in the back. And then you let everyone else, because those are your 2 most athletic defenders. So, like, if you want Vardy to go up, fine. If you want Diaz to beat a pendulum and swing it, great, since Rodri's out. But, like, let your fastest people sit in the back, and I promise you that will help a little bit. Because when you're lacking for pace with Stones and Diaz, as we discussed, this is inevitable. That's the only way you can score against us, because you won't get the ball. Like, I think Wolves finished with 22% possession. That's insane in a Premier League match. We passed it like 530-something times in their half of the pitch. So, like, we're doing all the things right. It's just really hard to score. That's why you need that long shot. And I know we haven't gotten to the goal because we're kind of taking topically, but like Vardy is going to have that chance because the space will be there. And so hopefully those shots can go in more. Maybe they do more training work on the pitch on them, because those are the shots we're getting. People just got to get more clinical, or, you know, at least put them on target and see what can happen.
Pep said, he's honestly, he said on multiple occasions, Diaz has said, Pep is telling them, hey, yo, because everybody's playing far back, y'all are the ones who are going to get open. Y'all are the ones who are going to have the best chance. And I get you've probably played 90% of your career being told, you better not shoot. I need you to shoot. I now need you to do this. It has to happen. It does get frustrating, because how else do you break it down? But is adding more players into the nonsense the way to fix it? I don't know. I don't know, because we have all these players in there. Then the 11 players are back for Wolves, and then we're stuffing all these extra players in the space. So now there's even less area to run, and then everybody's just standing still. I don't know. We got to figure something out. I don't know if, and again, we haven't got through the full match, but everything we've talked about, multiple things we have said, it just fits. Post-match, Pep's thoughts on this match.
Sorry, Jack, to disagree with you, but we play really, really good to attack 11. But listen, you cannot press because Sa is long balls. Win the duel, it's fine, 11 players to penalty spot. So breakdown is so difficult. I would love them when I try to play and go more forward and whatever. They use the transitions that Neto last season Lugo happened, but Cunha is so fast, and long balls with a striker always difficult to control them. And the pace that they have, the physicality for Lemina, for Joao, and from Andre, they're so strong. And look the ones against one Semedo, how aggressive they were with both wingers that they play. So they are really, really strong crosses. Yeah, with Bueno, with Dawson, with Totti. So 3 players with Haaland there. So, and 2 or 3 players in front of him in 2 meters difference. So the space don't exist.
Yeah, that's just simply it. It's tough. It's out here, and everybody complaining about what the team isn't doing. And I even had someone being like, and shout out to you, because I don't want to say their name because it sounds like I'm like coming at them, but I appreciate their mindset, and they comment, and we talk a lot on social media. But they weren't happy with City's performance, and they feel like there are a lot of happy clappers, a lot of people sanitizing the struggles, and we're giving a lot of credit to the other teams. And it's like, yeah, man, they're putting all these people back. It's tough. We have to give them credit for doing what they're doing. In the end, they need to try to figure out how can they score more than us. And unfortunately, it's this awful way. You park 3 buses.
I will say, looking at the schedule, like, I don't think we're going to see that type of match again. We might see it twice the rest of the calendar year. And I'm looking at, like, I don't know how Sporting's going to come out in Champions League in November, but they scored 27 goals in their first 8 league matches. Like, they play a very good style of football, open style. So it might not be them. I don't know about Feyenoord, maybe right before Thanksgiving, or right after Thanksgiving, right before Thanksgiving. And then we get Forrest in December, and we know Forrest and that terrorist manager they have. Not that he's an actual terrorist, but like he just wants to sit back, another Portuguese assassin. Yeah, he's gonna sit back and play. So like the most of our matches won't look like that, right? But I think, Tom, we talk about this all the time. You want to get the early goal, because the earlier the goal comes, the sooner they can break. So actually it hurt us even more that Wolves got that goal first, because then they felt even more emboldened and say, well, we did our part. We just want to leave 1-1. So, if y'all leave here with a point, great. We'll take that, and we need it. We got every point is necessary at the bottom of the table. So again, this is not going to be a common thing. And like the person you mentioned, I'm not sure who it is, but like I get the frustration. And I'm like, if we were losing, we had 3 losses, I'll be like, oh my gosh, the sky is falling. What are we doing? But we're right now Invincible City. Like, we have an invincible season and people are frustrated. Just think about that, y'all. Like, we are 6-2-0. Not a single loss has happened. And people are supporting in their own way with a lot of frustration, wanting. I'm trying to be mindful because, again, everybody has their own reactions. But I'm just like, yo, I don't know. This is what 34 is now. I'm just a calm ass nigga now. I don't care. Like, we get 3 points, we get 3 points. And I thought before that last kick, I was like, well, we're going to leave it a draw. Oh, well, move on. And then Johnson did.
That, y'all, is the language of a man who goes and talks to the lady twice a month. That's what that is.
Yeah,
and kudos to you for that.
Facts. And he even did the like respectable hands when he said it too. He like put them in front of him, and they were like softly held together. Just like, they support the way that they do. It's like, yep, I feel that. Okay. Vardiol's bomb outside the box with his alleged weak foot, even though all 6 goals he scored has been with this alleged weak foot.
Ambidextrous Vardiol.
Right? He's Dembele vibes. And so, yeah, it was just how are we? Because honestly, the goal happens and then it's halftime. So it's like, how are we feeling? Are we hopeful? Do we think it's just going to end 1-1? Because it's crazy. Sharpie was talking about how overall stats, but this is the stats at halftime. 78% possession for Manchester City. 10 shots on target. 10 shots, 3 on target, 7 corners, and they had 273 more passes than Wolverhampton. Like,
so let me I'll give you another stat. In his last 7 away matches, Jasko Vardiol has scored 5 goals. Like, that's insane. Like, who does that as a defender? Like, that's wild. Like, as far as like what I'm feeling at halftime, I mean, everybody in the bar is frustrated at this point. Like, shout out to Kansas Citizens. Love you, Kevin. Love you, Jamie. Josh, y'all great folks. Ramon. But everybody's frustrated just because, like, okay, we have all these chances and we've been wasteful with them, and we let Wolves get one chance and they capitalize on it. But I think that there's this overwhelming sense, like, yeah, we're still gonna score. Like, we're still going to score another goal. We're too good not to score another goal. And this, like, so I wasn't necessarily worried that we weren't going to score, but I was concerned where the goal would come from based off of the flow of play.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. I mean, again, when they score with 7 minutes left or 7 minutes on the clock and the start of the game, it was like we say every week, okay, that's too early. We're going to get goals. We finally got the one before halftime. So, okay, let's just go on and get the next one, even though to Tom's point, it took us a little while to finally get it. But, now you just assume, okay, we'll go on, we'll get the next one and we'll call it quits. But ended up being a little bit harder than that. But yeah, I felt okay at halftime because I just felt like we'd be okay.
All I'm thinking at half is when will 47 get on the pitch? Because I feel like he would be the person who occupies more attention to therefore make Holland's life easier. So I'm just hoping like we see him sooner rather than later. And again, I have hope we're going to win. So what happened next, Crump?
And honestly, the rest of the match, yeah, like it was other than the John Stones moment and Phil coming on, getting his 15 minutes, 17 minutes. It wasn't much.
It was 65th minute, so he got like 24.
Okay,
yeah, he got a little bit more. Yeah,
he got more than I thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was
But that's the
anyone
wrong side. It was
concerned?
terrible.
Was anyone else concerned when he came in, because he did come in for Daku, that he was going to play
It
on
was
the
the wrong
wing?
call. Yes, I knew it. It was the wrong decision.
He was
That's
moved
where
him.
Pep messed up.
Yeah, Pep
But-
moved him in now.
But no, he took out.
Yeah,
he took out Daku instead of taking out Savinho. It was so stupid. Daku did all the work in the first half. Then you swapped them, so you put them in their most uncomfortable position, and then you say, you know what, Jeremy, come out. What the fuck, bro? Like that's where the anger should be. Like Pep taking out Daku instead of Savinho, because now you would have had Phil on the right, Daku on the left, and I guess he wanted to get natural foot winger out there and cross it in, but it's like, no, it didn't work. It doesn't work because they're not crossers. So why do we keep trying to make this square peg fit in a round hole? Like it doesn't make sense. I can't understand why you leave Gundo on and not take him off instead of Phil. Like, and let Phil be right there in the pocket. Like that's the frustration I have in the match. It wasn't a losing
That
or
was-
drawing. It was that. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's what I was saying in the beginning when we first came on, or maybe we were talking about the lineups. It feels like why is there this reluctance to sit Gundo? I get that. Hey, we're glad to have him back. He's been a vital part. He's a former captain. All of those things, but everybody else has their moments on the bench, and I just think he just again it seemed obvious that he was the player that should have come off, but again, we all know Pep is the greatest for a reason, but that doesn't mean he's not. We can't question it, because I'd be like, well, what are you seeing that I'm not seeing? And granted, I'm sure there's something. I just don't know what it is, because when I'm looking at it, it doesn't make sense. Sorry, go ahead.
That was the talking point in the bar, as far as like, why is Gundo still on? Like, Gundo's not a 90-minute player. Gundo did not return to us from his Barcelona vacation the same player, and like, yes, age, yes, experience, all of that. I don't know, man. Just like, again, I want to be mindful of what I say. I don't want to disparage what Gundo has meant for the club over the years, and perhaps he is not the player that we need him to be, or the player that he is being used as.
Yes, and that's
and
what
both
it
of
is.
those things can be true.
Yep,
He shouldn't be a 90-minute player. That he should be our sub. This is real simple.
Okay, so Johnny Stones, Johnny Stones. Oh my goodness! Oh.
He's so dramatic. He loves the drama. What was that quote, Tom? A messy bitch who lives for drama? John Stones. All he wants to do is score after the 90th minute. That's it.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
I'm just gonna make these goals count. You're gonna feel me. You're gonna remember me.
You're gonna feel me. Exactly. You're gonna remember me. And like, I think like, so I do want to back up a little bit. I want to back up to a moment in the first half, on a City corner, in which countrymen Jose Sa and Bernardo Silva having a little fun with each other. Not like in retrospect, I think that was a bigger moment than we gave it credence for, because essentially that was Bernardo's job. It's like, hey, you've been like, Bernardo, you've been with that guy like for the last 2 weeks and you've been pissing him off. Like, I need you to do that for 90 minutes, like every time that we have a set piece. I I need you to go piss him off. And that's exactly that's literally exactly what happened on that goal. And, he backed into him. And then by the time that the ball got to John Stone's head, he, had ducked down and like moved a yard of space away from him. So, like he couldn't say that Jose Sa couldn't say like, oh, well, he has obstructed my vision. He was obstructing me. It's like, no, he was not. And he was not in an offside position, which I'm not really even sure why the AR would have lifted his flag on that in the first place.
I didn't get it, why it was called off at all. It made no sense. I was so confused. And
it's the PGMOL. We know why. Why are y'all so confused? They suck. It's like watching WNBA refs. They suck. There are just certain places where referees
no, refereeing across all sports
is horrible.
Refereeing across all sports in all leagues is bad. Like,
really
just
I don't
really,
know what's
like really bad.
The players
like,
are too good, I guess. But go ahead.
You got fans in Austin, Texas that like throw trash on the field and then like they get a call reversed. So like
that happened. That happened. Look it up. People that don't watch college football, Texas student section throws things on field after call was not made, and then after they clean up, hey, by the way, we'll give you that call. But I will say this: there is, when Arsenal does all these set pieces, they get credited, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh my gosh, the brilliance, the ingenuity, the set piece coach, blah, blah, blah. And it's thousands of words written about this. But when City does anything that resembled a play or a slight bend of the rule or something like, a little funny, a little gamesmanship, whatever, it's, oh my God, how did they let City get away with it? It's like the same way Arsenal, quote unquote, gets away with it. They just follow the rules. You're not breaking a rule. You're just making it you're making it a little bit more challenging, giving the keeper something to think about, because they've pushed up on Ederson way more in that match, right? Like they are right there, standing right beside him, looking like they're in a line for soup. Like they are real cold. So it's just like, I don't understand how little Bernardo, 5'7", as Jack Grealish said, as I'm putting my hand to this camera, he's this big. How is the interference? Like you Jose Sa 6'3". What are we talking about here? So it's just it was comical. Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
The screenshot of Jack Grealish going up to the bruh, he's this fucking tall. Like oh God, I could laugh about that forever. Like that's truly comedy. Like,
right? He's like, I love him, but he's a tiny man. Oh, okay. Let's do some quick previews and score predictions. 2 days from now, tomorrow for listeners, Champions League versus Sparta Prague. This is light work, right? Is this when Phil's finally gonna get a start?
Maybe he's our Champions League killer. He started the first Champions League match against Bratislava. I think this is going to be his role. So I definitely got Phil in there with a goal contribution. I'll take City winning 3-1 because it feels right.
I know.
I have 3-1 City win, stay perfect in Champions League. 9 points from 9 as well.
Oh, we did draw the first one, so it'd be 7.
Oh, right.
We drew against Inter. I always forget about the match.
Yep.
It was such a dud. It was such a dud. But yeah.
God, it was awful. God, it was so bad. Nunes is like, I have a feeling that this is going to be a big Nunes match. I'm again pushing the agenda. McAtee will get the start because I have a feeling that this is the match that you rest Erling Haaland, especially as much as he played over the international break. Because you wouldn't necessarily do that when you played Bratislava because it was away, but this one's at home, so you feel better about starting McAtee up top, false nine, dominance.
You think he goes McAtee false nine, or he goes Phil? I
think he goes McAtee, and I I don't even know if I can put Phil in the starting lineup at this point. Not because like I don't want to see him in the starting lineup. Clearly, I would want to see him in the starting lineup. I just don't know what Pep is going to do. Like, is Pep going to put him in there? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. So yeah. But I got 4-1 in this match for City.
What you got, Crump?
Sorry, I was trying to decide if I was going to be ridiculous or not, and I'm not. It's just going to be, I'm going to go with everybody else, 3-1. I would like a win. I would love a clean sheet. Then this would be a team technically at home. But yeah, no Holland. It's, I even feel weird saying 3 goals, but we're home, so we need to have 3 goals. Yeah. Oh, I forgot it. This motherfucker, Gary O'Neill. I know the clip had been.
Oh, he can kiss my ass. He can kiss my entire ass.
So what I want to do is I want to put the full clip. I have it all, and it actually makes it more egregious because you will hear he start off by being like, "There's absolutely no way they would do this," but. And so it's just like, wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what? So I just have to play this bullshit because this is the full context. Like, and he even spent the previous like 6 minutes being like, "Hey guys, it's cool. Hey guys, it's cool. Hey guys, it's cool." And then he says that bullshit.
We have to get on with it. There's...
He literally starts off with saying, "We have to get on with it."
There's no chance that people are purposely against Wolves. I mean, if we ever get to a place there, then the whole game's in a real bad place. So there's no chance that people are doing things against Wolves on purpose. Let's be clear. But is there something in like the subconscious around decision making, or of without even knowing it, are you more likely to give it to Manchester City than Wolves? You know, because my obviously my focus and my senses are heightened when we're facing Man City and Pep and Haaland. Are the officials the same? You know, when it's Haaland and when it's Manchester City, is there something in there that they not on purpose that influences decision making? And I've spoken to them about this as well, and they obviously guarantee me there isn't. But they are human. They are human. And Manchester City scoring a last minute winner is a big thing. It's like a bigger thing than Wolves scoring a last minute goal against West Ham.
And he, what pisses me off because he does this whole thing where I understand they're humans. And they're not doing it on purpose, but in their brains, because it would make sense because we're a little old. Like he does this thing where he's trying to understand and he's trying to use logic, but then he's also victimizing himself. Like it's this whole Karen Molotov cocktail of chaos. Hate it.
You know what? It reminds me a lot of, and it's not the talking points aren't as prevalent now, but it like even though it is basically the same. When you heard about like small market baseball teams, like about getting calls versus like larger market baseball teams, like, and as somebody who grew up in a small baseball market city, I'm not saying like I've heard a lot of that sort of rhetoric, and I'm not saying that I'm necessarily buying into it, but like it's weak. Like find something else. Like find something else. Get out of my face.
Hurt people. That's a man that's about to lose his job. That's all I got for you. 4 bottom of the table Wolves. Them and CP. They both about to be without a manager.
Yeah. That's facts, and because that's what he was doing. He was like bigging up the team. You know how hard they've just had to fight, and all of them. With them, there last year, a study came out that Wolves have been the most effective club by VAR. Like, we're with you. Like, trust me. But then you put us on the bad side, where it's like you could have made it be like, hey. I don't know how or why or what's going on with our team, but it's fucking Man City. Of course they're going to give everything to Man City, even though, again, 115 charges. UEFA's come at us. FA's come at us. But yes, they're the ones who are hooking us up. They're the ones who are giving us the fucking wins. Oh, and then Southampton. Sorry, I forgot all about Southampton. Fuck Southampton. We're gonna win. It's another home match. Run it up. Run it up. This is where we can get 4, 5.
I want 5 because they play. They will play, and Russell Martin, he's doing a Vinny company. He does not care. He will play his style, and he's hopefully going to get another job next year. So, yep, hope we get 5.
Yep. Derek or Tom?
Oh, yeah, this is an ass woman. Like, I mean, we might put a touchdown of goals up on them.
Hey, I love that. It's been a while.
I had 3-1 initially, but I changed it because I didn't want to have 3-1 for both matches. So I actually moved it to 2-1. Of course, I hope it's more than that.
Great.
We just haven't been scoring goals like that. So
that's fair.
We'll see. We need a breakout match.
All right. That's our episode, Show Bros. Tarek, let's start with you.
You need people to get to give my shocking awe and applause about William Saliba getting a red card, and them dropping points.
I want to get out of here. Time. We can do this.
No, we're done. I just wanted to call out the fact that Arsenal dropped points in a loss.
They wear red. They wear red for a reason. Okay.
In a loss to
card. It's their favorite card. They do it better than anybody else.
I was told that he was the best defender in the world. That's what I was told.
Well, what you also were told is that he's not going to be playing on this coming match against Liverpool either. He won't be available. So
Rolls Royce too. You know?
Well.
Who do you want to win this match? Obviously, a draw is probably the best case scenario.
Liverpool.
I want Liverpool to win. I want them to drop all 3. I don't want to get any points. Yeah.
They have 6 points dropped in a week. Yeah. Oh my God.
I feel like, and then there's 6 behind us this early in the season.
Yeah.
I just think that they won't be able to recover. I think Liverpool are going to drop more points along the way. They'll drop points, but I'm actually hoping for, not rooting for, but hoping for
I want a Salah hat trick.
Just straight embarrass them. Yeah, run it up. That's all I had to say, man. I just had to get that little dig in at Arsenal because I always said that because when I became a fan, it was when United was kind of moving off the scene, and so Liverpool was like the one I hated the most. But I just think I hate Arsenal's fans. They're just a little bit too much for me. They're over the top. I can't get with them. So
they are. I'm with you.
So I like it when they lose. But anyway, you can find me on Twitter or on Threads at Tarek Peterson, TarikPeterson, at Tarek Peterson on Twitter or Threads. You might find me throwing up the U right there. But you might find me talking about City. You might find me giving big ups and props to Kamala Harris. There's all kinds of things on there. So feel free to watch, to listen, to whatever, or just to ignore it, because that's what I would do.
Tom?
Quick shock on applause. There were some banger goals in WOSO. Shout out to Sydney LaRue of Angel City. That was whoo. Also, shout out to Momiki of Leicester City. Have you ever seen a forward nutmeg a defender and then score the goal? Because I did, and we all talked about on that match being trash. And if you want to listen more about WSL matches, you can catch me at The 12. That is a podcast about the WSL, the top league in all of English football.
Let's go.
Quick shock, art, and applause. Just shocked and appalled at Crystal Palace. Like, I don't know what happened, but they lost Elise and lost all the sauce. Elise and the white center back man who cut his hair. Yeah, those two left, and everything else is gone. I literally can't think of his name, but it doesn't matter because they're literally in the bottom of the table. The fact that like Ipswich and Leicester are safe,
I know.
and Wolves or Palace are down there with Southampton. Again, long season, 30 matches left, but very weird times. But yeah, find me on Twitter at Sharpie Charlie. When you hear this on Tuesday, October 22nd, will be exactly 2 weeks from Election Day here in the United States. I hope you vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz and just, democracy, as so many Republicans are choosing to do, put country over party or country over fascist. Because now we can just say it. Like, we know what it is. There's right and wrong. And if you fuck with Trump, don't fuck with this podcast. We don't want you. You're not with us, not for everything we believe in. So I voted early today. Feel great. Hope you can do the same. So you can have a day off on Election Day if your job provides it.
Hey, I mean, legally, they have to let you go vote. That is
very true.
So, yeah, but like Sharpie said, go vote now. And then on Election Day, you can be like, hey, I need to go vote. And then just not go back to work. Or go back
Also, if you go vote, like, they will stop texting you. Those people will stop texting you. Like, Charlie, like, now that you went to go vote, you won't get none of them texts no more.
Job's done. Job's done. Hope you be proud.
Is that what happens?
Yeah. Go knock it out. There ain't nothing else you can do. They might ask you for some money still.
Also, they keep asking me for money for sure. I get.
But they ain't gonna like. It lessens because you did your part, and that's all they want.
And follow the network at Shades of Blue NW on any social media app we are on. You can find us. Yeah, you know the vibes. Shady gang, shady gang, shady gang.